Hello brothers and sisters, I want to make this video short. It's about masturbation, lust, and overcoming that in Jesus Christ. So personally, my story is that I discovered masturbation at an early age, and it was just mechanical. There was no lust involved that I can remember. But eventually I was lusting after some women. But I mean, looking back at it now, I can see that it was lust, yes, but I couldn't say it was that. I don't know, but it was a driver, that led me to masturbate. But it was not an obsession at the time. So years went by, I became a teenager, and then around that time, maybe earlier also, clearly lust was a factor. Yeah, I was lusting after a woman left and right, and I was masturbating. And I knew then it was it sin? I don't know if it was sin. I didn't know if it was sin. I didn't so much bother to ask myself that, but from what I could tell around me, it was not a uncommon practice in boys I grew up with, and so it continued that way. It was a part of my life, and I never thought much of it. And I had other occupations, other things that kept me busy, so it never got out of hand. It was just something that I was aware that I could do sometime, and it was I took pleasure from it. And there could be triggers sometimes, that would push me to do that at a specific time. But it never got out of hand. Now come to the time I was in university, or someone led me to a website, and I wasn't told it was what it was, but when I reached there, it was a pornography website, and it was not the first time I was really looking at pornographic material, but the first time I was looking at videos, and caught my attention, and I was curious. I wanted to see more and more and more, so I guess it became an addiction then, and that accelerated masturbation as well. I did not think too much of it, again because I had a lot of things going on. I had other idols in my life, so it never really got too much out of hand from my own perspective. And until one time that I had, less thing to worry about, and it became more and more prevalent. So I was watching more pornography and masturbating also. And I questioned myself. I did some research to know if it was wrong, and I don't believe that I got any negative answers. So on it went until I was starting to seek God, because I was going through a difficult time, and I was out of a job, and it just so happened that I was looking for answers about many different things. So that got me to spend a lot of time researching Bible topics, and that kept me from masturbating. Maybe for a week or two, I was too busy, so I did not really so much thought about watching pornography or masturbating. And physically, I believe that I had the desire at some point, but I skipped it. And what happened is that I felt like something burning me. It's like an engine that kind of burns out. I don't know how to explain it. Really, it's like you let something die. It's like makes a lot of noise and then it dies. That's how I feel that it happened. Okay, but I was not free from pornography at the time, and I remember specifically that actually I had a friend who told me that she told me she had a dream of me being with all kinds of different women. I'm not sure if naked women or what, I don't know, but I was really pissed to hear that dream that she had. I was really pissed, and I think I was mean to her for just telling me about that. So it was like shedding a light on like a secret part of my life that I was not proud of. Okay, eventually I explained to her why I was so pissed. But yeah, that did happen. And that same week, I was listening to a radio program where they were talking about sex addicts, and the person was like inviting people to take a survey to find out if you are a sex addict. And I was thinking of taking that survey actually, but I did not get to it. I believe this is the same week that I got born again, and I never again looked at porn. I never so much had a desire for it. But what I can say, that there was a leading to that, like a year prior to that moment. I was baptized in water, and then from that time I thought to myself that okay, I would have been a new person then, but That did not happen. I was not a new person. Okay, I was still watching porn. I was still masturbating, still lusting after random women. But I had a sense that I was defiling my soul. I even put it in those words, defiling my soul. Okay, I'm watching the porn now. I am defiling my soul. I said that to myself. And it meant something to me. But that was not what it made me, turn my eyes away from that. But it helped me in a sense that I knew that that's something I didn't want to keep doing for the rest of my life, or to keep doing it all the time. I knew I wanted to stop. And as I got into a better prayer life, I started to ask Jesus to help me with that. I recognized that I didn't have so much the power in me to turn away from it. I tried different things. I tried to block sites, okay, and then I would unblock them. So that was really a waste. I tried to become desensitized to what I was watching, like just look at a scene and try to not react to it. I thought I could control, with manpower. I could just say, okay, forget it, that doesn't interest me anymore. But that did not happen either. So only the power of God will give me a new heart, allowed me to turn away from pornography and not look back. And I continued to masturbate after that ceasing point. But it was clear to me that how lust was involved, and I found a way to masturbate without lusting after a particular woman or some image. But it was, how do I say it? Yeah, it was just purely mechanical. It's like I clear my mind not to think about anything lustful, just like mechanical stimulation. Okay, and I was not doing it often, maybe like weeks or months apart. I did it. I think it was like a way to scale back, to come back to zero. It's like any habit that you have to quit. It may not be cold turkey for everyone or for anything, but yeah, I continued to masturbate that way, like leaving out the part where I'm lusting after some woman. But what happened is that even while doing that, what happened is that the devil came for me, and he started injecting pictures in my mind, like pictures like nothing, things that have nothing to do with me, not anything that I had seen, just like erotic kind of images would just be downloaded in my mind like that. And then I realized that, okay, I was going to sin for sure if that was the case. And so I said, no, I cannot continue to do that. Okay, and then thankfully I saw some brothers post online. It was saying that masturbation is sin, and I was like, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. And because I had found a way that, okay, if you leave the lust out, the image is out, then it's okay. So that's what I said to myself. But it would take quite a long time before I understood what it meant to really crucify my flesh. And it happened maybe about a year later, a year or so, after I got free from the pornography, like a year or so later. And that's when I understood that I needed to crucify my flesh. And it was there was a week where I was tempted, very, very, very tempted in my flesh, and it was a struggle. So what I was doing, by that time I was familiar with a lot of scriptures that deal with crucifying the flesh, putting to death the deeds of the body and things like that. So these things really strengthened me. They really strengthened me, and I went through that week. I did not masturbate, and I didn't masturbate for months after that. And then one more time I did it. I'm not sure why I did it, but I did it because I was tempted. But at the time, I feel like I totally had the power to not do it. I totally had the power to resist the devil and have him flee from me. I had the power to overcome the temptation, but I did it. I rationalized. I gave myself some reason, but it was like a one time, and I did not plan to continue. However, that one time was also for my learning. I realized that you cannot feed the flesh. If you feed it, it will come alive. If you kill it, it's going to be dead. But if you feed it, it will come back alive. So I understood how that worked then, and from that time, that was it for me. And I was shocked one time. It's like supposedly I was having a wet dream, how they call them, but it was not. I mean, I didn't get wet, but what happened is that it's like I felt like there was some demon that came to try to come and get something from me from around my genitals, It was kind of shocking. It was just like seeing a glimpse of what's going on. It's like I wasn't masturbating anymore, and then that demon was coming, trying to get something from me that maybe it was not getting anymore. Anyway, it was just one time. I just keep that in the back of my mind and try to fit it in everything else. But yeah, I have been masturbation free, but temptation is always around, always a struggle to not give a second look to, or there's images that come at you to make you lost and fall into sin. I believe that I have a very low threshold of what I consider to go beyond, a modest look for a woman. I have a very, very low threshold, and maybe it's not fair for some women, but what I mean is that what a woman may not consider immodest, I may see it as immodest, and I just don't have enough data or to compare that perspective with anything else, anyone's perspective. So I feel that I have a lot to say about how women present themselves and how men can react to that. I believe the lasting effect was maybe that I'm maybe more sensitive than average to how a woman present herself, so I can be easily tempted. So I had to adjust to that and decided to not take second looks, because that's something I caught myself doing. And yeah, it's been working. It's been working. Jesus has been helping me to purify my eye. Okay, and for all those struggling with pornography and masturbation, lusting, I want to say that for a man, I want to say that getting married is not the cure. It may put you in different circumstances, but the cure is really your eye. You may still have an evil eye. So the eye can be made clean only by Jesus, by submitting to Him, by obeying Him. When you obey the Word of God, it will transform you. It will make you a new person. It will give you a new heart with new desires. And your eye also will be transformed. You will have power to overcome your temptations. It's a walk. It's not something that I believe can happen overnight, but it may for some. But I believe it's a walk. It's like you're sick and you need to get well. So it may take some time. It may make different stages, different levels of awareness of where you are at, and until you completely overcome your flesh. So yeah, I'll share some scriptures there that relate to this testimony. This testimony have been waiting for a long time, but I'm not sure why. It's pretty late in the night now, but I believe I had to do it today. So I hope it blesses anyone who comes upon it, and know that there is true freedom in Jesus, true freedom, true peace, true joy in Jesus, not joy that does not last, that you always need to seek. Jesus will give you a lasting peace and a sound mind. Okay, you're not gonna be living like a chicken who has its head cut off and never dies. It's like you just, you have control of yourself. Self-control, the gift of self-control that comes from God, from the Holy Spirit. Okay, don't be content with being controlled by something. Don't be controlled by anything. Okay, but be self-controlled and only have Jesus as your Lord. Nothing else. Anything else that controls you is an idol. And God said, "You shall not have no other gods before me, no other gods, no idols." Yeah, anything that controls you outside of God is an idol. Okay, God is your Lord. That's for your good. But anything else that acts like it's making you do things like you think you have no control over, that's for your destruction. Okay, seek the Lord and pray that you be set free from anything that binds you, any addiction. I know sexual addiction is a very, very, very big thing, and it's one of the most neglected. People don't really talk about it until something makes the news, and then you get crazy like it's some guy just got crazy out of nowhere. No, it's not out of nowhere. There's a problem, but we don't talk about it, or we approach it the wrong way with the wrong perspective. It's not gonna get fixed, and people get trapped in it, and it's a cycle, and it spreads out, and the whole society is infected by it. And there are people there who are putting fuel on the fire, all the entertainment industry, but I'm not gonna get into that now. But there's a whole system that's there to attract people and trap them in many sins, many sinful addictions. So I pray the Lord to keep you and to help you see the battle that you are in, so that you can use the right weapons, the weapons of God, to overcome and not be overcome. May Jesus bless you.